Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Weather with Sim again. I hope you guys are all having a great Tuesday so far, and as well as a great start to your day. And today is January 28th, 2025, and in today's forecast, we are going to be talking about a lot of things, including parts of Texas that could experience some severe weather as we get into the next couple of days, and we could even be seeing another major winter storm across the northern United States as we get into the next couple of weeks, including even some severe weather that could unfold on the southern side of that winter storm. So this is definitely going to be a pretty wild and dangerous weather pattern as it gets ready to unfold. So make sure to be on high alert out there as we get into the next couple of days and as well as the next couple of weeks, especially as we will be tracking a lot of storm systems around, including that winter storm potential like what I was talking about. But if you are new here to the YouTube channel, or if you haven't subscribed already, make sure to go down below and click that subscribe button and like button so that way you guys don't miss out on any future weather videos or live streams that we do on this channel. And I also did want to point out that I do think I will be able to go live tomorrow, even though the threat of severe weather is going to be a little bit more on the marginal side of things. I still think I will be able to go live for it, so consider doing those things so that way you guys don't miss out on that live stream, and I definitely appreciate it. But let's first start off by going over what's shown on the satellite here. As of right now, we are currently dealing with some pretty good rainfall down here in parts there of Texas and even parts there of south eastern New Mexico. Otherwise, most of the United States is mostly cleared. We're not really seeing a ton of cloud cover, mostly seeing a lot of sunshine around across a lot of these areas. We may have a little bit of snow activity ongoing up here in the upper Midwest, but once again, most of the United States is pretty much in the clear. Where you see those blues, those are mainly flurries slash thicker clouds, so not really seeing a ton of activity, like I said. But we will definitely continue to watch the United States over the next few days, like I said, as severe weather is going to start ramping up down here in Texas as we get into the next few days. And if we take a look at the threats for severe weather, starting off with today, we don't have any risk for severe weather, but as we get into tomorrow, we do have a small marginal risk for severe weather down there in Texas, heading from San Antonio all the way back up there into the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And the main concern for tomorrow is going to be that potential for large hail, as we do have a small 5% risk for large hail across the entire marginal risk. For the tornado threat, we don't really see a ton of a tornado threat tomorrow, but I do think a few tornadoes could still occur, especially around the San Antonio area, points northward. And then for wind, I think wind will probably be the main concern, as we do have a pretty good chance for some damaging winds, and same with hail. We even got a pretty good chance for large hail, so we will need to be watching tomorrow closely, as a lot of severe weather is definitely looking likely down here in Texas. We're not really looking at significant severe weather, but we could definitely be seeing quite a bit of severe weather, like I said, with isolated damaging winds, large hail, and perhaps even an isolated tornado within 25 miles of any given location. So we will need to be watching, like I said, Texas very closely as we get into the next few days, especially tomorrow, where I do have a chance of going live. And then for the day 3 outlook, we do have a slight risk for severe weather down there in Texas. Thursday might be the more concerning day, but on Thursday I am going to be extremely busy, so I'm not sure if I'm going to have time to go live for this one. But if I do, it's probably a pretty good likelihood of me going live for Thursday, as the threat of severe weather is a little bit higher. But once again, though, I will be very busy, so I'm not sure if I really will be able to. But just in case I do, consider clicking that notification bell so that way you guys don't miss out on any future videos or live streams that we do on this channel. Now, let's talk about the reason why we're going to be experiencing severe weather during the next few days, starting off by taking a look at the future radar. By the time we take this into tomorrow we do start to see some of that rain and even some supercells start to pop up down there in Texas as isolated damaging winds, large hail, and perhaps even an isolated tornado could develop. And as we continue to take this forward, we don't really see a ton of thunderstorm activity, but we do start to see widespread moderate to heavy rain push on parts there. The Mississippi Valley starts heading into the Ohio Valley and will continue even towards the Mid-Atlantic and northeast, and perhaps even parts of it heading towards the southeast. And then after that, we will be tracking maybe a huge Alberta clipper rolling on through the Great Lakes region, possibly bringing some pretty decent accumulations to those areas. And the winter storm that we're going to need to keep an eye on won't be till we get to February 6th, where we are going to be talking about the potential for sleet, freezing rain, and even some heavy snowfall across the northern Great Lakes region, where we could definitely be experiencing a lot of that, and possibly even heading over there into Maine too as well. That could also be experiencing some freezing rain. And down on the southern side of that system, we're actually going to have the potential for severe weather, and this is going to be on Friday, February 7th, where we are going to have some pretty good chances for some severe weather. And look at this, guys. We actually see a squall line trying to develop on the southern side of that system. And if we go right back to the radar, you guys can see how that part of it right here that I'm getting ready to circle is going to be that potential for possibly a squall line developing anywhere from Indiana all the way back down there into Arkansas. So this is going to be something to keep an eye on very closely, as we could be seeing a risk for severe weather a little bit farther to the north with this winter storm. And keep in mind that places like Chicago, Detroit, Indianapolis aren't gonna get the worst out of this, probably won't experience really any severe weather. But if you do live south of Indianapolis, let's say like Evansville points southward, that's when you got a pretty good chance of possibly getting some supercells developing with this line of storms rolling on through, and that's where you guys could experience a risk for damaging winds, large hail, and maybe even a few tornadoes. So once again, depending on your location will determine on if you get severe weather, which like I said, places like Indy, Chicago, and Detroit won't really see a ton of it, but I definitely do think some stronger thunderstorms could still potentially unfold that will then start heading eastward into places like Louisville, possibly even continuing into the Appalachian Mountains, but then most of that should diminish by the time we get into Tuesday, February 11th, which keep in mind that this is over 10 days from now. I don't really want to say that this is going to happen because once again, we are heading really far out and models have kind of been all over the place with where exactly we're going to be seeing severe weather. But once again, though, we will definitely keep an eye on it very closely, as severe weather does appear to be a possibility, so make sure to be on high alert. Now, the next thing that I want to look at is going to be our temperatures now, and if we take a look at our temperature anomaly, we are going to be dealing with above normal temperatures for quite some time out here in the eastern United States, as warm air is just going to continue to surge on in. Maybe a brief cool down at times, but like I said, we are going to see a lot of that warm air just trying to push on in here and just try to push on in here, and it's not really going to calm down anytime soon. We're just going to continue to see that warm air push on in here again. Maybe a brief cool down, like I said, in between those warm ups and cool downs, maybe even another one, and then possibly another cold shot sometime during February. But once again, not really looking certain as of right now, as the models have not really showed a cold shot lately. So this is kind of surprising to see right here. But once again, though, way too far out to really tell. So if I were you, I would take this cold shot with a grain of salt. But I would definitely at least be paying attention for some brief cool downs in between like this, as we could be seeing below normal temperatures for a brief period amount of time before another big warm up starts pushing on in here. Now, the final things we're going to look at is going to be your total rainfall and also your total snowfall. Starting off with your total snowfall, we are going to be tracking some pretty good snowfall across the northern United States as we head from now all the way to, let's go to February 8th, as we will likely be tracking the potential for a lot of snowfall out there to the west. We will also likely be seeing a lot of that even across the northern United States, especially the Great Lakes region where we could be tracking that winter storm. So this would definitely be a good time to, at least be keeping an eye on the weather, as I do think this entire corridor that I'm circling right here is going to have that potential for anywhere from 1 to 2 feet of snow in a few areas. So we will watch this winter storm very closely over the next week or two to see how it plays out. But once again, not really looking certain as of right now, as things are still looking to change quite a bit. And that is the same with the rainfall. Rainfall looking pretty uncertain still, but I do think we are going to be tracking some pretty good rainfall out here in the eastern United States, especially areas like New England, up there into the Great Lakes region, all the way back down there into the deep south, and as well as the Ohio Valley, especially, as I think this area right here that I'm getting ready to circle is going to be the bullseye for the most rainfall. It's going to be this corridor right here that is likely to pick up the most rainfall, heading from Texas all the way up there into the lower Ohio Valley, where some pretty good rainfall does appear possible. But once again, really far out, can't really say exactly if this is going to be the case or not, but I definitely do think it's a possibility. So now is a good time to really be paying attention. But thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed today's forecast. I know my screen does look a little bit different than what I have been using, but that's because I kind of just been playing around with my screen and just trying to figure out what looks the best and what doesn't, which for my opinion, I think this looks the best overall, and you guys can let me know down in the comments if I should change something. But like I said, I think this appears to be the best overall for me, so make sure to let me know down below in the comments if you can. Otherwise, I'll probably just stick with this one, as I do think it's the best overall. So yeah, make sure to let me know down below if you can, and make sure to also click that notification bell and subscribe button so that way you guys don't miss out on a potential live stream tomorrow or Thursday. And also don't forget to share this with any friends, family, or anyone who you guys know on social media. If you guys would please do that, that would be much appreciated, so that way we can help get the word out to everyone. And I really do appreciate your guys' support, and I hope you guys all have a great rest of your Tuesday out there.